the Citrix Maledictum causing a rent through the galaxy, strange things happen, and opens up new opportunities for the Mechanicus. So what's happened is this Forge world has been to a very strange location and found what looks to be a bloody pile of scrolls. So they've taken them back to the Manufactorum for analysis. Of course, if you find some bleeding scrolls, they've got to belong to somebody, and of course they've got to belong to Khorne. So we're going to be fighting the relic mission, and it's all about these mysterious bloody scrolls. Have the Mechanicus delved into heresy here by looking at such forbidden fruits? But that's what we're here to find out. Who will take the glory? And in this snowy outpost here, we're playing a hammer and anvil mission, so it's short end to short end. Mechanicus will deploy first. And for those who'd like to know, this is a Deep Cut Studio mat. So it's a mouse mat material, and it's called Frostgrave. So it's really, I really like this one. It's got lots of colour on it, even though it's snow, so it doesn't look totally washed out. So give that a look if you want to. Okay, so this is about 2,000 points of Mechanicus. Both wings of the Mechanicus pulling in together. So we've got a formation here, but the rest is unbound. I'm just trying to play a few units I've painted up just before they get new rules for 8th edition. So it's not going to be the strongest army ever, I don't think, but it's got some tricks. So we just basically want to wheel out these rules before they expire. So we've got, of course, the most important man I think in the universe. It's Belisarius Cawl. If it wasn't for him, the wheels wouldn't be turning for the Imperium at the moment. So he is in the force. He's a legend. Right, so on this side we've got a Tech Priest Dominus. He's got both weapon upgrades. He's got Infaslave Skull. He's got a Phosphor Serpenter, and he's got the Eradication Ray. And he's with a unit of destroyers. They've got the plasma cannons and with the flamer arms. So they're pretty good, pretty versatile unit. Got the Castellan robots, and they've got the Power Fists, as you can see. And the Data Smith, he's got the Mask of the Alpha Dominus, so they'll be able to change protocol on a whim. And we've got some Electro Priests here. And we've got an Engine Seer. He's from the Imperial Agents book. He's useful just to add into your force because he gives you an extra Canticles, the Omnissiah. He bumps you up on the list a bit, so he's welcome. And we've got this formation here. So this is the Dominus Maniple from the Start Collecting formation. You have Tech Priest Dominus, and if you're within 18 of him, oh sorry, if an enemy unit's within 18 of them, they get to reroll 1, so it's quite handy. So we've got the Ranger squad here. The Alpha's got all the trimmings that you can see on him. He's even got a refractor field, giving him a 5+ invulnerable. We've got Omnispecs, a arc rifle, and they're just going to try and shoot from afar, I think. And the on a Gajun crawler, it's got the neutron laser, and 2 stubbers. 2 Cogna stubbers. And this unit, Infiltrators, I've got really high hopes for these. These have got the macro stubbers. I know the flechette blasters, that's what they're called. 5 shots each with shred, only strength 2, but you can get a lot of shots out of there. And they've got the Taser Gourds as well. And he's got an Info Slave Skull too. So high leadership all around here. And then lastly, to try and bolster the force, we've got the Night Crusader. So he's got the Iron Storm missile pod. It's the big blast strength 5 one. And then he's got the arms that you can see. He's got the Avenger cannon, and he's got the repeater battle cannon, or the rapid fire battle cannon as it's called. So that is the force, and hopefully it'll be fun. It's going to be really, really hard since it's such a small force, but don't try this at home.
It's a Khorne Daemons. It's 2,000 points, and it's an unbound army. It's led by Herald on a Juggernaut, and his Warlord trait is reroll the demonic instability test. And then we have 3 troops over here. and 16 blood letters in each, banner of blood, and the champion for each. And then we've got 2 fast attacks, flesh hounds, 8 of them, and some furies there. And we have 1 unit of 5 blood crushers. Got the banner of blood, champion, and over here 3 blood crushers with a champion. On the backfield there we've got 2 skull cannons and the sword grinder. He's just standard. And over here got a bloodthirster of insensate rage and the other bloodthirster.
What's it? Bloodthirster of Fury.
A Fury, is it? Alright.
Rage and Fury. Blood and Skulls. Okay, so Mechanicus are the first at the scene of conflict. They get set up first. So we've got some firepower on either side. We've got the Onager with a really good line of sight at the bleeding scrolls of mystery. He's going to try and put his blast on something. Might be, if he doesn't get taken out in the first turn, it'll be the first game I've ever had with it that I can actually shoot, because it normally gets knocked out.
He's safe.
And we've got the more safe is the word behind the armoured crates. We've got the Skitari looking scared of those skull cannons, that's why they're hiding. And then we've got more blasts coming down our channel at the bleeding scrolls. Infiltrators, they're going to try and just get where they need to be to put the hand to hand on people. Robots are going to do the same. Belisarius, he's with the priest, so is the Engineer. So it's a pretty nifty unit. And we've got the knight here, so he's got a really good line of sight as well. So Khorne have to put all those blasts in mind, and they set up on the deployment line, and the dogs scout forward. So they've already done that scout, and they're already on the relic, but they're not going to be able to claim that until the end of their movement phase. And over there we've got the cavalry right on the edge of the board. We've got the bloodthirster with the destroyer axe, a cluster of bloodletters and furies being the meat shield, more bloodletters in the back in reserve, just behind there. Skull cannon, more blood crushers this side, another skull cannon, more berserkers, bloodletters, and the sword grinder. So he looks like he's going to march up and try and take on this knight. Right, the Mechanicus scheduled to go first. Let's see if Khorne can pull the rug out and get that 6.
Khorne!
Do they steal the initiative?
No.
Oh, it's a 2. Turn 1 for the Mechanicus, we're looking at a cautious advance, and we've played some canticles as well. So we've done canticles of the Omnissiah, we've done benediction of omniscience, so we're re-rolling to hit rolls of 1s and 2s. So all that means is these get hot plasma cannons, and we do get a re-roll to see if we'll get hot, so that's that benefit. We've done canticles of the Archmagos from Belisarius himself, and he's given the knight +2 ballistic skill, so he's going to try and get some accurate shots going on the dogs and whatever he wants, because we haven't picked our targets just yet. And not much movement, as you can imagine. It is a cautious advance. Belisarius just steps over to the right a little bit with his unit, and so do the infiltrators. We're trying to predict where the first attack's going to come from, and The neutron laser is finally going to get its first shot in any game. It's going to shoot down, all the way down the battlefield at this skull cannon over here. So if we do it, make it explode, since I absolutely hate skull cannons, that'll be worth it. Exploding in every single game on the first shot. If it can just return fire, make that skull cannon explode, one of my hated units in the game. We're going to have the Onager Dune Crawler. He's going to fire his neutron laser through the gaps at the skull cannon. So we're going to try and get a dead centre. This is a mean weapon, if you can land it. He does land. It's strength 10. That's a penetration. So the demon, he's got a demon save of 5. Oh, makes it. Right, firing the destroyers next. So all of the plasma cannons do fire, none of them get hot. At the dog, so after some scattering around, we've come away with 9 wounds that they're going to have to save. And that looks okay for the saving front. 3 saves, so 6 wounds. Right, the Tech Priest Dominus, he chimes in as well, sends his strength 6 blast at the dog, so causes a wound. The front 2 dogs have 1 wound each. So we're going to fire the knight now. I think we're going to do the stubbers at the dogs, try and shave off the first 2. And we'll do the cannon at the Bloodthirster, the nearest one. And we'll do the battle cannon at this unit of bloodletters here. Right, so the knight's opening fire now. We've done the stubbers at the dogs and able to kill 2. And then we did the battle cannon at these bloodletters. 1 scatters wildly, but we do clip a dog. And then the next shot lands on target and gets 8 wounds on that. So he's got 8 wounds to save on the bloodletters and 1 wound on the dog. So bloodletters, 5s. That's pretty good actually. Over half. No, not over half. It's just half. So 4 bloodletters dead, and then the dog, saving on 5. No, he's insta kill because strength 8. So the knight's putting in some good work. We're doing that missile pod, whirlwind shot, Barrow style, all the way over here at this unit in the distance. Right, the rocket pod sends a shell indirect fire over at that unit and just scatters into no man's land and doesn't get anybody. So the ballistic skill modifier isn't helping them on the indirect shot, but this is where it will. We've got the Avenger cannon. It's going to fire at this Bloodthirster. He's got 4+ save behind the building. So hitting on 2s, and we'll reroll 1s to try and get 6s because his ballistic skill is so high. So those don't convert, but all of these do. So he's toughness 6, so we need him forced to wound, and that's pretty good. Right, so 7 wounds in there. He's going to have to save on 4s because it's AP 3, and that is a pretty decent roll, I suppose. 3 wounds, could have been worse. Already on the Bloodthirster. So that is it for shooting. It's a small force, but it's erupted with ferocious blasts. Could have been worse for the Demons, but they've taken a few casualties, but avoided some of those nasty blasts, especially in the corner here. The Whirlwind could have taken a chunk out of those. So pretty average performance. But now the Demons are going to come forward and they're going to have their turn. Minimal shooting from the Demons, but that's not where their strength lies. They've got a lot of fast units. They're going to crawl up the board. Okay, so we've completed the whole demon turn here. Not a shot going to be fired here. Just everyone has ran, just swarming the table. Mixed results on the run rolls, got mainly about 2s and 3s for most things.
So not mixed, very poor.
Well, so, some of the backfield stuff went far, but that wasn't the stuff that needed to go far. So we've got Bloodthirsters jumping up, going to try and be the vanguard here, pin the Mechanicus back, while the lesser creatures, the lesser beings, take the objective. We've got the Furies, they've dove forward, and they are now on the objective. Going to claim those scrolls. And the dogs are going forward, the sacrificial unit, and that's about it. Even the skull cannons, they moved flat out or ran. And because there's going to be no blood this phase, Khorne, not happy with the outcome, he chose to give the Khorne player a paper cut right in the finger. So Khorne gets his wish, doesn't care where the blood comes from, If it's not in the shooting phase, he'll just give you a paper cut. Okay, so the Mechanicus turn 2 now. It's looking like the last turn they're going to have before the Khorne line hits. So again, it's a careful advance orchestrated by Belisarius. The infiltrators, they move 9 inches because they've got Dune Strider rule. They come all the way over here. We're looking to intercept this big nasty bloodthirster when he comes to town. Only rolled 3-inch move through cover, so only 3 rangers can get on the top of that crate to shoot. They do have move through cover as well. Got to roll 3 dice, but still only managed at 3, so that was disappointing from them. Again, another small advance from Belisarius, but we're only going to be able to get 1 Electro Priest in range of the dogs, unfortunately. And the Knight, he's going to have to be on sentry duty again. He's going to put out all the fires coming in. In the middle, another small advance. The robots, they've moved on, but just the destroyers just roll on just a little bit. We need to start approaching the objective, but we need to keep out of range of any nasty charges. And the dogs look like if we don't take them out, they're going to hit the lines, but there's plenty of nasty stuff on the horizon. We need to do something against these bloodthirsters. We're going to open up with this neutron laser. The first time wasn't so good. Second time, let's see if we get this skull cannon. That's a direct hit. That's strength 10. That is another penetration. I'm going to need a demon save. Right, so we're needing the demon save of 5. Can he get it again? No, it's gone through. So I'll just use this one. It's AP 1 and it's open top of the chariot. It explodes. We finally got rid of a skull cannon, and that's its first claimed target of all time. I'm proud of you.
Well, I've got first blood actually on me.
Actually, that is first blood. That's a good point. Right, we're moving on to the Knight now, so we're selecting our targets. We're going to do the 2 main weapons at this bloodthirster here. He's wounded, we need to see him off this game, and then all other weapons are going to fire at the bloodthirster squad, letter squad next to the bloodthirster. So much blood, too many names.
Too much blood.
Savage work from the Knight so far. He takes away nearly all the blood letter squad. There's just 1 guy left. I will fire the battle cannon at the bloodthirster. Got 2 direct hits, so we need a wound on 2s. So there's 2 wounds. He's got a 4+ save behind this bit of cover. He's taken a further wound. He's on his last wound here. We're going to open up with the Avenger cannon. This surely should see him off. So here we go. We're hitting on 3s. We haven't got the enhanced ballistic skill going anymore, so 3s is needed. That's still fairly good. Only 4 misses. And needing 4s to wound against this guy. So that is very good. 5 wounds. He needs to save all of these on 4s on his cover, or he's dead. And he is dead. Brutal work from the Knight this turn. Right, the Flesh Hounds are coming under attack now. Mr. Electric Fingers over here gives ultimate power to one of the dogs and drops 1. And then the plasma cannons have opened up and got 2 wounds, so I need to save. There's 1, but does take a wound. Right, and then we've got the Alpha Dominus. He's going to shoot as well. Right, the Tetra Priest Dominus opens fire and wipes out both dogs. He kills one, insta-kills with the Eradication Beamer, and finishes the... Oh, sorry, no, he shoots the first one with the Phosphor Serpenter, and then insta-kills the other one with these eradication arrays. So the dogs are cleared. We didn't think we'd get that done this time. So we're going to fire the combustors, the torrent flamers at the furies. Right, we've opened up fire with the rest of the guns. The flamers and some of the guns on here just almost eradicate the furies. There's only 2 left. We've stripped them away from the bloody scroll, so that is now free. They're not going to be able to get away with it this time. So that's the first line stripped away from the Khorne attempt. It was very, very impressive shooting phase there from the Mechanicus. I didn't even think they had that kind of damage in them. Mostly it was down to the knight, but everyone chipped in there. It was very good work. Right, we're in Khorne turn 2 now, and you can feel the frustration build. They're not getting the run moves that they needed, and they keep on rolling 1s for runs, so they're just nowhere near getting in amongst the Mechanicus, but they've just swarmed all over the bloody scrolls of mystery. So it's going to be hard to carve through all of that, but we've started on a good note. Everyone's ran, so no shooting again, and then again on the Warp Storm table. They rolled a 7, so nothing of note. We did that last time and nothing of note. So they're just not getting the blessings of Khorne. Not one bit. And so this is what it's looking like in the centre. All the Khorne units have just converged on the scroll. So if they can just get a couple of survivors and then just start going away with it, they could still end up with the victory here. Because Mechanicus isn't particularly long range. The knight could catch them. That's always a concern, is the knight, but it's been going superbly well for the Mechanicus, I must say. Okay, it's turn 3 for Mechanicus, and Belisarius orders the move forward, so everyone's going forward now. So he's Belisarius and his coattail riders. They move forward. We're going to try and take on this soul grinder with his super duper solar atomizer. So it's pretty nasty. D3 shots at strength 10, AP 1. He's not to be trifled with. We've played a few special rules. We've got Chant of the Remorseless Fist going, so we're going to be able to reroll 1s and 2s in combat for the Cult Mechanicus stuff, and we've buffed our weapon skill 1 for the things from the Skitarii army. And this is why the infiltrators, they've gone forward 9 inches and they're going to charge. So there's an 8-inch charge to be made. They've got Dune Strider special rule, so that drops by 3, so it's a 5-inch charge, so it's not that long in fact. So they're now weapon skill 5, and they're going to strike first against him. But first, he's got to weather the storm from the night again. He's on form today, the night. The robots, they're going forward with their flames, ready to put these demons to the torch. And we've got the destroyers again. They're just going to stand there, or I don't know what they do. They don't sit. They've got no legs. They just run. Got the engines running, should I say. They're going to fire the plasma cannons into the lines. Just once again. These rangers don't get anywhere near as far as they should, even with move through cover. Only manage a 2 this time, so a 1 and 2 2s on their roll. So just one of them gets up to contribute fire. So we're going to fire the neutron laser first from the Dune Crawler in the background. He's going to continue the trend of my hatred for skull cannons. He's going to put that right on the centre there. See if you can get a hit. Oh, it's going to scatter. Right, so the neutron beam laser scatters over here. We've got a load of blood crushers. We've got 1 from the front unit and 2 from the back one, so we've already wounded them. So the 2 at the back, so 5s on the demon save. Strength 10 shots, so 2 of them are insta-killed, and then the front one, he's insta-killed as well. Savage stuff. Right, we're going to do Belisarius now. He's going to fire this neutron Atomizer, I think it's called. Solar Atomizer. So D3 shots, he's getting 1. So he's hitting on a 2. So he's hit at strength 10. So that's a glance. Right, so we did glance with it, but Demon's got the save. I thought it was armor bin, but it's actually melter, so you need to be in close range. So Belisarius has fluffed it. Right, so firing the knight, same target priority as usual. The arm weapons are going at the Bloodthirster. All the other weapons fired at the Bloodletters. 4 dead in that unit, I think, because of the Stubbers and the Iron Storm pod. But now we've got the Avenger Cannon at this Bloodthirster. So he's elected a jink because some shots will be out in the open. So you'll be saving on 4s, but that is another brilliant roll from the knight. He's lethal today. 4s to wound. And, okay, not so good that time, but 4 wounds, not too shabby.
4 save?
Saving on 4s, yeah. Oh, he's taking 2 wounds. Right, then we've got the battle cannon. It's already fired at the Bloodthirster. 2 direct hits. So wound on 2s. Oh, only get 1 wound. He's going to need to save on a 4. And he does. So he's only taking 2 wounds. This changes things. Okay, so we fired the Rangers at the Bloodthirster next. No damage. And then we had to do the Plasma Culverins. Or Calivers, can't remember what they're called. At the Prince. Only put a wound on him. Didn't get the shots that were needed there. So he's taken 3 wounds. He's got 2 left. It's going to have to be down to the infiltrators to see him off in combat. And then our next move was to do these incinerator combustors at these Bloodletters. Severe damage on those. We've ended up with 14 wounds. They're going to have to save on invulnerable 5s. So I can see 6 saves there. Okay, so that is the end of the shooting phase. 8 die. And that Bloodletter squad, so not as good as it has been the last 2 turns, but still pretty good. Now we've got some mega charges to make. These robots are going to try and assault this remaining Bloodletter squad here. They've got an 11-inch charge to do. No, 8. Good effort. Belisarius, he's going to charge the Soul Grinder. We'll see if he gets it, then we'll do his Overwatch, because he's not going to stop him. So he's going to need a 12. What is it?
Oh,
or is it an 11?
It's closer than that.
What is it?
10.
It's a 10-inch charge, not so far then. Not as far as 12. Can he make it? Oh, he does! Belisarius puts all those 100 legs to use. And in he goes. Well, ledge. And then the infiltrators are going to try and get in on this Bloodthirster. So it's an 8-inch charge, but with the Dune Crawler it means it's a 5. They don't have fleet, so they're going to have to make it. And they do on an 8, so that's the number of Khorne as well. It's a sign. Okay, so we're in the combat here. This is crucial. This next dice roll. We've applied Mind State Secutor earlier in the turn, well at the start of the turn. So these have got a +1 weapon skill and the -1 weapon skill to the Bloodthirster because he's just in proximity of them. So this is the difference if we roll to hit on 4s or 5s. What it is, it's a fear test. He's got an Infaslave Skull, so we're the leadership 10. We don't want to be failing this. Oh, that was so close. Alright, we're past it. So we will strike first against this demon. Alright, the infiltrators are coming in with a sickening amount of attacks. We're in a challenge, should I say. The Princeps, he's going to get 5 attacks on the charge, and the rest of them are getting 4 on the charge. If I roll any 6s, it's an extra 2 hits, just like sort of Necron Tesla weaponry. So here we go, it's all or nothing. And that is a whopping amount of 6s. Right, so we've got 5 6s there, so that's an extra 10 hits. Absolutely savage. So these are at strength 6, because these Taser Gourds are +2 strength. So we're needing 4s to wound. Alright, so all these dice needing 4s. And that is another good roll. He's only got 2 wounds left, this Bloodthirster, and he's going to have to take, let's see what this is. That's 6, 10, 11 wounds. He's going to have to save on his 3+. And he's dead. He only just dies though, only failed 2 of those. So he's laid low by the humble mechanoids things. Right, so here comes Belisarius. He's seen this infernal machine, decides it cannot live. So it's been a really good trick here. We didn't really need to pull the card that we did for the Canticles because he's with a unit that's Zealot, so they're going to pass it on to Belisarius, so he's going to be able to re-roll all of his attacks, and he's fearless, just about. So Belisarius, first of all, he's got a data spike against the Soul Grinder. He's hitting on a 3. He's hit with a data spike. Haywire. That's a 6. That's a penetrating hit. You need to save that on a demon save of 5. So there's his first whole. I know it's a penetrating hit. So what is the damage? 3. So he's going to be shitting and stunned. So he's taking 1 whole point. Now Belisarius has got 5 attacks. He's hitting on 3s. We've got Zealot, luckily. Right, he's hit them all. Now these are with these Arc Scourge. So these are Haywire as well. And he gets to re-roll all the Haywire results if he chooses to, but we're going to leave it like that in case we roll any 1s. So you need to pass some of these, because you need to pass at least 3 to survive.
Well, could roll all these.
Yeah, so 5s to save.
He's dead.
So he's dead. He's failed 3. He's been laid low with Haywire hits. Belisarius, King of the Mountain. Okay, Belisarius the Triumphant and the Coattail Riders. What a combo with that Zealot roll. All of a sudden, we're really close to the objective with those massive charges. Never expected him to make it. We thought he was just going to have to receive a charge. But do not count him out. Belisarius is clearly the most important character who's ever lived in the Imperium, and he's shown it off today. So, really bad casualties from Khorne in these rounds. They're not getting the runs.
But that's alright.
But they are on the bloody scrolls of mystery, so they can run away, literally, with the game. Right, so it's turn 3 for the Demons, and the Furies, they've got the bloody Scrolls of Mystery. The weakest unit in the whole army have achieved what the rest couldn't, so they're starting to pull that to the lines. The Herald, he's just attached there, and everyone's just using blocking strategies to try and protect the Furies as best they can. The Mechanicus is still fairly far away, but there's a few fast moving things that can get there, but they've now got the prize and they're going to make their way home with it. Right, so the Warpstorm table was Rot, Glorious Rot. We've been around the board for 6s, not a 6 in sight, so we're going straight on to the swift shooting phase. It's the Skull Cannon from over there. It's going to fire at the Infiltrators. He doesn't like these anymore. So it's a direct hit. There's 4 under the blast, so this is strength 8. Alright, so strength 8 needing 2s. That's going to be 3 of them. It's only AP 5 a Skull Cannon, so we're going to need to save on 4s. We usually have a feel no pain, and we've got 2 wounds, but this will insta-kill us dead if we don't get our saves. And 2, everything is just going the way of the Mechanicus here. Alright, so no charges are going to come around for this turn. Khorne are basically shown up, going to take the objective and go away. They're not into harming anybody these days. Khorne will be furious. I don't think they've even killed a model yet, and that was the best attempt right there. Just denied by the power of the Mechanicus. I suppose that's what happens if you come to this Forge world. You've entered into the Hornet's Nest. Demons are on the ropes, so the Mechanicus is going to have to move in, and move in quick to try and wrestle these mysterious scrolls away from them. So the net is starting to close. The knight moves forward, it's getting some shots down this channel. It's been just death after death after death underneath that veranda there. And more plasma shots. It's just been a game for blasts and big blasts. They're still there. So more battle cannon shots coming their way. We're not playing any special abilities this turn either. We're just going to do this the old-fashioned way, just by sheer dice rolling. Right, we're going to open it with Belisarius. He's going to do the solar atomizer at the back of the skull cannon, because I hate them. So 2 hits coming out of his solar cannon. There's 2 hits, he's hitting on 2s. Strength 10. Actually the melter shot, so that one goes through. Second one, that goes through as well. So we're going to need 2 demon saves on 5s. So 2 demon saves. Both go through. This is again AP 1, and it's open topped. That explodes. How far? 6 inches. It's a big blast. Alright, that goes up a treat, a bit too much. Kills a couple of bloodletters on that side of the wall and puts a wound on a blood crusher. They survive. And then Belisarius almost takes 2 wounds, and then he just passed his feel no pains on his very last roll of the dice. So he almost took 2 wounds. That would have been really embarrassing. So big blast. Bit too much mustard on that solar atomizer on that one. Okay, we're only about halfway through the shooting phase here. That's looking grim for the demons. We've had the neutron laser fires through, kills, just insta kills 2 blood crushers there. There's only 1 left, and he's on his last wound because of the stubbers firing in as well. The destroyers did exactly as the name suggests. It's basically halved this bloodletter unit, and we killed the remaining 1 squad from the flechette blasters from the infiltrators. So this is what it looks like for these blood letters. Not good whatsoever, and it's exposed all the way down to the Furies who are holding that objective. So we're going to fire at long range with the scouts at them. So these are 30-inch range, so we're going to try these out, and if we get any 6s we can actually snipe out the guy holding the objective. So we've got 5 shots. Alright, we've got 3 hits. Not going to snipe out the one with the scrolls. There's 2 wounds. We're going to need to save on 5s. So if you just want to do that there. You got them? Oh dear. 2 Furies shot dead. So the Furies are shot dead. The scrolls have been dropped. Right, we've had the knight open fire, and the writing is on the wall here. Just look at this. There's not a demon in sight. The bloody scrolls have just been dropped on the floor, and there's no one around. After the horrendous firepower, and he still hasn't finished yet. He's fired everything but the Gatling cannon, which we reserved for the Warlord. He's on his own, and it's just not looking good here. So the Warlord, he's going to take this cannon, the Gatling cannon. Right, he's strength 6 on the Juggernaut, so needing 4s. Right, there's 4 wounds he needs to save. Right, so 4 wounds to save on 5s, on the Demon 5s. Well, he makes 3 of them, so he's only taking a wound. Alright, so we've been told that the Demons are going to concede there. There's just too much. They haven't even killed anyone from the Mechanicus. They haven't even put a wound on anybody. The only wound that they've suffered is through a get hot roll on the destroyers. So that was an absolute pasting. There's only these 2 left, and they're going to get charged by the robots, and at strength 10 they'll be insta-killed, which would leave just 1 guy left with 1 wound left, and then the Herald with only 2 wounds left. And of course we've got the Knight who can just hunt them down at whatever range and blow them away, and obviously Belisarius is right on the doorstep as well. There's just no point of continuing. It was just an absolute pasting. Okay, so there he is, Belisarius. He's got the scrolls in his many arms in his grip. Look, he's even pointing at them. So, what a victory. We've been on a massive losing streak, and then when a victory's come along, it's come along in a big way. It's probably the biggest victory I've ever had, never even losing a model. Vicious stuff. So I think unit of the game has just got to go to the Knight. He just almost didn't even miss a shot. Just absolutely pasted the Demons. Wasn't even funny. And the Destroyers, they did really well. Really happy with the way they performed, and really happy with this unit. It's just one of the units I was looking forward to using the most And it's a bit of a shame that the new edition's coming out just in that way, because I was really looking forward to using the Mechanicus a bit more, but I think that's a good note to end on for 7th edition for Mechanicus. Doesn't get any better than that. Belisarius. So now Belisarius has got the papers, he's going to sit down at a desk, unfold them, and just see what all the fuss was about.